You're alone, living in a car. Dark is approaching, and you're frightened of where you need to go to park. Seriously, after 3.5 years, it's apparent I'm not here to guide those who want to carry an entire house with them. RVs and tricked out Sprinter types are not my thing. They're just not. I think you've all kind of figured that out if you've been with me for a while. I was called to help those who are living a more simple life with a smaller bank account. This has become apparent more and more as I continue the channel and watch what's happening in our world. I do have a comment that I want to mention. She said, "Hello, Lee. I've been watching you for a while now. I boondock all the time, and there are times I would like to stay in the city. I'm just not sure where I can park. Could you please give me some suggestions?" Well, this is what this video is all about. I'm hearing and observing this more and more lately. Some regular boondockers, they really seem tired of the dust and the dirt out. I hear so many people say, "Oh, it's so dusty and dirty out there." And then they're having to drive into town, wasting gas to get supplies. There's a lot of medium-sized towns that have gyms, showers, stores, cinemas, parks, gas stations, museums, etc. and etc. If you have a regular-sized vehicle, you'll just blend in if you want to park overnight. So let's talk about the parking so you don't have to be scared. While you're parking at night, there's no reason you can't park on a street at night unless it's an upscale neighborhood or a crime-ridden one. Look for a regular folks street, right in the middle. Don't park in front of their home, but rather in between two homes, where home, and then you park in between. Now, both of them will assume you're visiting the other one, right? I do that all the time, and I do have a video I'll leave a link for that Paul and I drove around this one city, and we showed you where we would have parked. If you live in town, in a house, don't be selfish and say, "I won't have it. I don't want people living in their cars on my street." Don't be selfish. This person most likely and could be a frightened senior who wants to sleep deeply without fear. They're not hurting anybody, right? I mean, in most cases, they're not. Now, if you get a knock in the night, it will be because someone called up what's called a welfare check. It's a fancy name for, what the heck is your car doing here, right? So here's some suggestions so you don't have to be frightened. Cracker Barrel, Walmart, go in and ask if you can. They always appreciate that. Planet Fitnesses that are still 24/7. A lot of them aren't anymore. Hotel parking lots, Home Depot, go in and ask if you can do it. And if you know more suggestions, please post below in comments. And there's so many neighborhoods all over this nation. Now, I know I'm going to get some pushback on this to say, "Oh, in my town, you can't park." If you have an RV or Class C, or you've got like storage on the top of your car, if you're just exploding outside, and I've seen them, if you're just exploding outside of your car or your vehicle with stuff, you got water containers in the back and everything, of course, don't do it. But seriously, if you're just got a minivan or an SUV or even a small high top, seriously, I think people have more to do than to be going around and monitoring every street in this United States at night. So, don't be afraid. If you're alone living in your car and dark is approaching, it's becoming nighttime, and you're frightened, relax, chill out. It's not as bad as you might think it would be. I really love this. It's flan, but it's egg custard. So, I don't know if you've ever tried it before. I think it's 150 calories per serving. Comes 4 in a package. I love egg custard. Oh my gosh. Now, I got a couple comments yesterday on videos, and one of them said visualization is the key to making the life we live. Somebody commented this. If you imagine getting a new car, you will, Lee. Still, it's up to us to make faith work for us. It just makes sense to have your dream home, which is comfortable, safe, and above all, reliable. Though I know you love the relaxed, no-build experience in your van life, it would be really fun to watch you be creative with some build-ins in your next van. Well, it might be fun for you to see me do a build-in, but it wouldn't be fun for me because I don't want to build out. I really don't want that. You know, people that come and actually visually in person see my minivan and see how organized and how much free space I have to move around freely as I want. They go, I want that, as long as your knees are good. You have to have good knees. But my knees, there they are, my knees are good. And it actually gives me a lot more exercise. But I'm serious. If I was to do a build out, I would feel so confined. So it might be fun for you to watch it, but you probably have to go to a different channel if you want to see build outs in minivans or whatever, because I am never going to do that. I love what I have and I love the space. And if you are forced out of your home and you can get a minivan, oh my gosh, that would be so good. So as you can see, where am I? I am in a hotel room, and I'm going to start showing you how I got here and what I did when I got here. It's a reset and I love it. Okay, I'm here. I am going to do a reset. You know, I have not washed my hair in 3 weeks, which is really good for it. I don't need to wash my hair all the time, but I'm going to do a reset. I'm going to do a do-over. So, come with me. Now here's an important word, attitude. If you are bitter about your situation living in a vehicle, if you are angry, you will experience a miserable life in your vehicle. Somebody pointed that out in comments yesterday. Now, let's not forget that living pods are becoming popular with young people in California and Japan and possibly all kinds of other areas that I'm not aware of. There are pod-shaped living quarters attached to larger areas where the group collects for meals and social times. Each pod is basically about the same size as a minivan. Well, doesn't that make sense? If you're living in a minivan and it's about the shape of a pod, that minivan holds your clothes, you sleep in it, things like that. The same as what somebody living in a pod would have. And then when you want to get ready to go socialize, you go to a restaurant, you go to a senior center, or you go someplace where people are gathered. Or you go, if you're boondocking with a couple of people, you go out there, you have fun by the campfire. Yeah, and you chit-chat, things like that. I mean, it's really like the same concept, don't you think? The pods that are becoming so popular, a lot of young people really like them. And they are very popular in Japan. It's sort of the same thing. You don't need to be carrying a house with you everywhere you go if you're going to be away from a home, if you're going to be out of a house, if you get evicted, if you just want to save money. Getting an RV just doesn't make sense having to have something so large. The cardinal rules are don't be loud, don't litter, go after dark, leave early, cover your windows with black covering. Just don't put, like a towel over your windows. It's not rocket science. Be considerate, have a good attitude, and have faith that everything's going to work out okay. Always assume it's going to have a good outcome. Did I sleep good last night? Not too much. It was different. The clock alarm went off, and I had to keep. Yeah, that kept waking me up. The refrigerator over there kept going on, and so no, I'm probably this afternoon. I must take a good nap, but it was a good reset. I got my hair done, and I got my manicure. I got my pedicure. And I soaked in the bathtub 3 times. Actually, when I got up last night, I kind of went in the tub for an hour. I just laid in there, and it was a lot of fun. I feel refreshed. So, yeah, okay, I wanted to show you this. I'll show you some more footage of this. But look the way that sparkles. Look at that. Now, these are mine. I'm not selling these, and these are mine. But look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? And it's on, I've got different photos of this. It's on minivanlee.com. And it's very elegant, don't you think? I love it. I love this. So here, you had a chance all the way through to admire it. But go to minivanlee.com. There's lots of jewelry on there. And I got my neck gaiters. Hello, I've got neck gaiters. And winter's coming up. I don't have one on right now. This is called a mock turtleneck. And I've got exercise tapes, and of course I got the book. And please subscribe. It really helps me out. Okay. So until tomorrow, everybody. I love you guys.